Hi, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. Okay, we're adults here, so let's remember the great lies. You've heard them all your life. The check is in the mail. Yes, I'll respect you in the morning. How about this one? You can keep your doctor. That was a great lie. Didn't turn out to be very true. How about this one? I have insurance, therefore I'm covered. And frankly, that is probably the most dangerous lie of all to your financial health. Look, the number one cause of bankruptcy in the United States of America are people that think they have health care insurance but really don't, and they get denied. That's the leading cause of bankruptcy in this country today. The reason why? 17%, nearly 1 in 5 of all claims are denied for a variety of reasons. And the sad reality is that when people are denied coverage, less than 2% ever appeal them because they don't speak insurance. They don't know how the system works. What happens is they go to the hospital, they think they're covered. The hospital may miscode something, so the claim is denied. Then the hospital jumps all over them, sends that poor person a letter saying that if you have a bill that your insurance company is denied and you better pay this whole price right now or we're going to put it on your permanent credit report. And frankly, that intimidates enough people to pay it without ever really appealing the decision, trying to track down why it wasn't paid, etc. Because only 2% are appealing them. And when you think about how the insurance scheme works on the other side, this is going to kind of tick you off. See, when your hospital sends a bill to the insurance company for that $5,000, the insurance company says, "No, we're only going to pay $1,000." And they have great leverage over the hospital because if the hospital balks and fights them on it tooth and nail, trying to get more money out of it, the insurance company can say, "Look, you keep fighting us on this stuff, we're just going to tell all of our members that they cannot get coverage if they come to your hospital." And that gets them to back off. So now there's a shortage between what the cost of the procedure was, how much the insurance is willing to reimburse the hospital for, and it increases the cost of medical care for everybody. So we're all caught paying for it for the greed and profit of big insurance. See, none of these guys, and if you notice, no one in this system is looking after your health. Matter of fact, it's probably the best interest of big insurance for you to be as sick as possible for a really peculiar reason. It makes you dependent upon them. See, the only way to get out of this system and to quit worrying about insurance is to not play the game. And the first step you have to take in order to not play the game and to quit your insurance coverage is to get healthy. Frankly, not too many people are. Less than 1/5 of Americans are metabolically healthy, which means they're at great risk for type 2 diabetes. And if you get type 2 diabetes, you may be on the hook for over $1,000 a month in insulin costs. And if you don't have insurance, you're paying that out of your pocket. And that's terrifying. That suddenly makes that $900 or so on average that people are paying for healthcare coverage look reasonable because it's going to pay for over $1,000 in insulin. And frankly, I think they're looking at the system completely wrong. See, what's really cool about getting healthy is that you don't have to worry about being insulin dependent. Matter of fact, if you're on insulin right now, you can get healthy and get off of it, probably. And you may tell me that, "Oh, that's a complete fabrication." My doctor told me in no uncertain terms that type 2 diabetes is a progressive illness and you're only going to need more insulin. And that, my friend, is a lie. It is a big, fat medical lie, perpetrated for far too long. There's a company called Virta Health. They specialize in helping people through lifestyle get off their diabetes medicine, to get off of insulin. The majority of their patients are 100% in remission. Most of them greatly reduce their need for meds. Virtually all of them are getting healthy. And when you are healthy, you can have the freedom to get the heck out of the system. And it is ridiculous. And once you get out of the system, you can find out exactly how much fun it is to negotiate with your doctor and your medical provider and provide your own health care and not worry about what your insurance company tells you you have to do. A couple of years ago, I had a case of pink eye. I mean, it was one of those gummy things. It was ghastly and very painful, and I needed to see an eye doc. So I go over and see the eye doc about this thing, and I told him, hey, I'm paying cash. How much is it going to cost? And they weren't completely sure. So it took a little while, and basically for about $300, they took care of my eye. And they also gave me samples of the different medications I needed to take care of it. And it was great. But I remembered that my son had had this similar thing about 6 years before. So I looked up, those records and found out for him, when we had, family insurance, his was over $6,000. See, the cost of health insurance, of healthcare cost, actually goes down pretty dramatically when you start paying out of pocket. The average doctor, if you go to their office and you look at all that staff, 2/3 of it is only for one reason and one reason only: billing, trying to get money back from Medicaid, insurance, etc. And when they have people that are willing to pay cash, they're willing to give discounts. I went, I have to get my eyes checked every year because I wear contact lenses. So I go to my eye doc, I called around and said, how much are you willing to do if I came in and paid you cash today, what would be an exam cost and prescription for my contact lenses? $75. This is a procedure, this would be $300 or more bucks if it was with insurance, but because he didn't have to deal with billing and somebody was willing to pay him and he had no cash, he didn't have to wait 60, 90 days to get reimbursed, he could afford to do it for $75. And that's the power of doing the system the way I'm talking about. Well, what about catastrophic events? And I do have catastrophic health insurance. I mean, if I have more than $5,000 worth of expenses, I have a defined benefit program that starts to kick in. But it only kicks in over $5,000 and it costs very little per month. So I've got catastrophic coverage. I have a medical IRA that I use to cover the cost. When I wanted to get my own blood work done, and I prefer doing my own blood work. I like ordering certain tests to check on my metabolic health every year that I could never get my old doctor to do. And strangely enough, when you order them online and you go to the lab and you get the blood drawn and they do the testing, it's cheaper than it was with my copays. The system is actually significantly cheaper when you start paying for it out of pocket. And you go with a more catastrophic policy and use insurance the way it was supposed to be used for major catastrophic events, not like you would for a health maintenance organization. Like, people keep treating health insurance, which is supposed to cover bad things, big expenses, like they would just paying for a regular doctor visit. And that's a mistake. And it's a very expensive way of driving up the cost of medicine. So when you get yourself healthy, you can get yourself out of the system and you can quit paying for all this nonsense. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I hope you liked this message. I hope this gave you some ideas to try to not be normal and to get out of the system. I mean, there's reasons to be healthy. There's a reason why I am so enthralled with the low-carb lifestyle, why I'm a carnivore. Because it makes me healthier, which means I get the heck out of that system and I don't have to pay for all this nonsense. And if you think more people ought to hear this message and ought to learn how to get healthier and get the heck out of the system, then please hit the like and subscribe button. Join our community. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've negotiated with your doctor and you've paid for your own procedure and let other people know that, yeah, it's possible to negotiate with your doctor and to pay for your own procedures and save money. And that's, what the two things I'm all about: saving money and getting healthy. Not necessarily in that order. I prefer healthy first, saving money second. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. We'll talk to you tomorrow.